Michael, 12th man, any decisions yet?
Not at this stage, mate, no. I think I was expecting to make, or have a decision for you today, but the wicket's changed a little bit since yesterday, and I need to wait and see if it changes any more come tomorrow morning. So I guess weather upstairs plays a big part as well. If it's overcast compared to the sun shining, see the forecast is okay for the week, but I really want to wait till tomorrow morning and give ourselves, I guess, a really good look at it.
So what you're holding out to ask to decide is 3 or 4 seamers?
That's correct. Yep. At this stage, we're still deciding: do we play 4 fast bowlers or do we play 3 fast bowlers and Nathan?
Have you made your own mind up as to if it was just the 3 quicks? If it was just the 3 quicks, Michael, who would miss out of those?
Well, we've certainly spoken about it. That's for sure. But again, until I've thought about what the best attack is, or if we're going to go 3 quicks or 4 quicks, I don't think it'd be fair to the players if I told you that. I think it's important that, like I say, we wait and see what conditions we're faced with tomorrow morning. Give ourselves the best chance to have a look at conditions, and then we'll work out what the best 11 is.
Michael, we saw Ricky Ponting before training, before you guys got into it, do some running with yourself and then by himself. What's the news on Ricky?
Ricky's fully fit and looking forward to the challenge tomorrow. He's done everything possible, I guess. He did some running yesterday, had a really good net session yesterday and similar today, and he's pulled up really well. So he's excited about tomorrow.
Chris?
Michael, the Ben Dorries dossier.
Good read, wasn't it?
Did you know it was coming out?
No, look, I think it's... there's certainly information in there that I think everybody's, it's common knowledge, well aware of. There was some other stuff in there that was like I say, quite an interesting read. But, yeah, look, at the end of the day, we have plans for every opposition we play against, and it's no different against South Africa.
Was it deliberately released, though, as a psychological ploy against the opposition?
No. Well, I can only talk from my behalf. Not that I know of, no.
So you personally didn't know it was going to come out before the game? Yep.
Michael, is it... Sorry.
I've got one more. How much input did you have into that, into the dossier itself?
Well, we as a team don't have an official dossier, like you say. As such, we look at footage, we talk about opposition players, we study opposition strengths and weaknesses as, I guess, a bowling group and a batting group. That's generally what we do as a team. And yeah, like I say, there was some stuff in there that is quite common knowledge about the South African team, and there was some other stuff in there that that we certainly haven't spoken about.
Sean?
Michael, do you think it could perhaps have an effect on their teams? We saw what happened in 2000 for New Zealand, when it happened in New Zealand. Do you think it might have an effect? It was good or bad on their behalf? What do you think?
Oh, I think it's, both teams would have read the papers, that's for sure. I think that's what we do. The most important thing for me, and I've said it for a long time now, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. So that's the Australian team's attitude at the moment. It's about making sure tomorrow we turn up. Enough's been said, there's been plenty of talk in the media, and the series has been built up beautifully. 2 very strong cricket teams. Now it's about what we do.
Michael, South Africa are far more experienced. If you line your sides up, 11 versus 11, South Africa far more experienced and have been through the mill a hell of a lot more than a lot of your guys. How do you explain to the guys, particularly the newer guys, Rob Quiney, who's got a pretty young and inexperienced top order, about going and playing against a team which has got such big, powerful characters in it who've been such high achievers?
Well, my message to the boys for a while now, but especially this week, has been it's not about the opposition. It's not about the bowler that's running into bowl or the batsman you're bowling to. It's about the execution of your plans. As a batsman, you've got to face a red ball. It doesn't matter who lets it go. You'd be silly not to look at footage and understand what the opposition players can do. So I guess your mental side of your preparation has been done, but the player that you're facing as a batsman is irrelevant. It's all about the ball that comes out of their hand. It's the same as a bowler. We've got as much talent as any team in the world, especially our young fast bowlers, but it's about execution. If you don't execute your plans, you won't take wickets in first grade, but if you do execute your plans, you'll take 20 wickets against India, and there's no difference to South Africa. We beat a very strong team in India last summer, 4-0. our process, our plans have been no different. Our preparation's been exactly the same. Obviously, different opposition, and we've looked at that and worked on that as part of our preparation. But all the work that we've put in the focus has been wholly and solely on us as a team, and making sure we're as well prepared as we can be to play against whatever opposition.
Rob Quine will be the fourth number 3 you've had since Ricky Ponting. Have you sort of considered perhaps that role for yourself, or what is it that makes you think that the senior players lower down is better for the team?
I have actually. I've spoken to to Justin Langer, and obviously I had some time talking to Ricky about it over the last few days as well. I guess we think at the moment it's Rob's best suited to number 3 for this Test match, and hopefully he performs really well and grabs hold of this opportunity. I've said for a while now it doesn't bother me where I bat, and I know Ricky and Michael Hussey are in the exact same vote. They don't really care where they bat. It's about what's best suited for the team. We thought our middle order played really well together last year or last summer. And we're looking to do the same thing. We think Rob's got plenty of experience in first-class cricket, opening the batting and batting at number 3. So he's probably used to that position a lot more than me for the start of this series. We can assess as Test matches go on, as time goes on. Like I say, I really hope Rob grabs this opportunity with both hands and owns that number 3 position for Australia.
Michael, have you appointed a vice captain?
We haven't, no.
Why not?
Probably had a few other things to focus on. I think now with the Cricket Australia board, you don't have to officially name a vice captain for every Test match. So I'm certain if I go off the field, there'll be somebody there that can do that. But at this stage, we haven't officially appointed a vice captain.
Does Ricky act as a sort of de facto, you turn to him?
Well, look, there's plenty of guys. Mike Hussey, Ricky Ponting, Matthew Wade stands right beside me if I'm in first slip as well. We've got plenty of options there. Let's hope I'm on the field the whole time. We don't have to worry about it.
I was going to ask something. Ben?
Michael, some of the stuff we wrote about today in terms of the South African bowlers, a couple of them especially, you'd obviously like to get them coming back for third and fourth spells. There's a bit of a feeling there that they're good with the newer ball, but you obviously like to keep them out there in the sun for as long as possible and have them coming back and test their endurance. And it's certainly the hardest time to bat is against the bowler's first spell. The longer they're out in the field, the heavier your legs become. So as a batting group, we're really keen to spend as much time in the middle as possible. I think they're experienced though. They got a very good attack, that's for sure. We just know we have to beat our best. We're prepared for that. We know what's coming. We know what we're about to face. We're excited about the challenge. But with only I think they have four fast bowlers in their touring party. 3 Test matches. If we can make them spend as much time in the field as possible, hopefully that'll hold us in good stead for the next 2 Tests. Just to follow up, do you feel like Philander especially, he's obviously had a remarkable start to his Test career, but a lot of it has been, with sort of newer balls rather than coming back and doing it again?
I think in general conditions that suit him is when there's a little bit in the wicket. He hits the seam consistently, so hopefully we see some sunshine tomorrow. The wicket looks pretty good out there. There might be a little bit, day one, but generally the Gabba turns into a pretty good wicket, pretty good batting wicket. So, I've said for a while, it's the better the bowling, the more positive you got to be. So that doesn't necessarily mean walk out there and try and hit the first ball for 4 or 6, but I think the intent of our batsmen need to be positive. I think that's how we play our best cricket. We're out there to score runs, and like I say, it'll be no different who the opposition is. Our plans are in the best interest of us having success, and it won't change tomorrow.
Michael, Ricky yesterday made it very clear that our guys, our bowlers, are going to take them on and short ball, bounce them the top order of South Africa. Obviously, it's an in-house thing he was saying. Is that the case?
I wouldn't be surprised if you see plenty of short stuff, that's for sure. When you got 3 guys that bowl well and truly over 140 Ks, 4 guys that bowl over 140 Ks, they're not shy on bounces, whether that be in the nets or in the centre. So, the young quicks know what they have to do. They know how important it is that they execute their skills. But
I've made it very clear that they need to keep the same aggression they had last summer against India. We understand there's a line that you can't cross, but we'll be pushing that line.
Michael, yesterday we saw footage of you with your hand in the esky, icing it up. Was there a bump to the wrist or the hand, or is there any problem for you?
Not at all. My fingers were a little bit sore from catching, that's all.
Michael, a lot of teams like to target the opposing captain. Is that in the plans again, I suppose, Graham Smith's target number one for you?
Well, yeah, I don't see the need to target anybody, to be honest. We have to get them all out. He's an opening batsman. Because he's captain, doesn't really faze me, to be honest. He's an opening batsman, he's a good player, and we have to take his wicket, I guess, to get stuck in the middle order. So, our young fast bowlers are looking forward to having an opportunity to bowl to him, that's for sure.
Michael, you've touched on it earlier in the week, but does the battle for that number one position in the Test rankings add anything for you going to this series?
It's an end result, that's for sure. Like last summer, to beat India 4-0, the end result is we beat the number 2 team in the world 4-0. That's very exciting, and I guess at the end of this summer, if we perform well, that's the end result. But the most important thing, like I say, is that we make sure we're playing some of our best cricket. We have no desire to get to the number 1 ranking and lose it. So it's about consistent cricket, consistent preparation, consistent form over a long period of time to get to the top, and then also to stay there. I think that's probably just as important as getting there. You want to be able to stay there.
Sean? Well, this is the case tomorrow. It could be a good toss not to win and let the other, or if you win, you'll bat by the south, but all conditions still determine that.
Ask me that question tomorrow once I see conditions.
Thanks, everyone.